for example, like right now,
Yeah.
I unmute it, and then you're coming through, and hopefully it's seamless. Yeah. Jeez.
Amazing.
I mean, we had an hour of banter before we got
Yeah.
online here, but dude, how long
We
have we
chatted
been
a little
off?
bit. 6 weeks?
I feel like
2
it's
months?
7, 8 now.
Could be 2 months.
Yeah, we've been a couple of busy bees.
I forget what happened, what the last episode even was, or what the last time we actually chatted was.
It was the one before the live. That was the last one that we
Yeah,
podcasted
so that would
about.
be 99. So five episodes ago, which would be like 6, 7 weeks ago.
Well, 98 was the live one.
Oh,
so
okay,
97,
so
was the
97.
last one we did.
Right,
yeah.
so that's 7 episodes ago.
According to my numbers here.
Which means probably that's easily with a couple of months off. That might be 9 weeks. I don't remember when.
Oh boy,
It's
because they have a week off too, right?
Right. It's August.
I don't know.
It's August 20th today, and I think we've been off since June. Huh. How about that?
Wow, that's crazy.
It is crazy. But hey, we're back. And
we are. Hey, look at us.
So
Someone's got a new background back there.
Yeah. Let's start this off. Welcome to Critters in Taiwan, a D&D podcast about Critical Role, where a bunch of nerdy-ass voice actors sit around and play Dungeons & Dragons. I'm Ben, not in Taiwan.
Uh-oh, you're not even in Kaohsiung.
I'm not even in Kaohsiung anymore.
I'm still Tim in Taichung, but we've had a few changes came about.
So we might as well just throw it out there. One of the things that happened to me, and I mean, I kept this on the DL a little bit because I wasn't sure exactly how it was going to work out, but it worked out great. I'm super excited. I'm super happy. I moved to Thailand, Chiang Mai, Thailand.
Which, contrary to popular belief, Taiwan and Thailand are two different places.
Yes, they are not the same. So in mid-July, I packed up my life, and for full disclosure, I got a really good job offer from an international school here in Chiang Mai, and it was time for a change, time for me to make a move. So I pulled the trigger and packed up my whole life and moved.
As they say, dovetail. That's a big move, though, man. Big move.
Yeah.
I mean,
it's for me, and I know you got stuff to talk about too, but for me, for the people out there that do watch this or anybody that is paying attention, it was a big move. It was, very big, and it took me a long time. Ironically, I was ready last week to do a thing for us, and then it's the rainy season.
I'm sorry I laughed so much, dude. Mm-hmm. Go ahead. Sorry.
It's the rainy season, and came home from work, and I was ready to record with Tim, and I walked up my stairs and I slipped wet shoes, wet flip-flops, fresh off my scooter, and bailed on the stairs. And we have a beautiful little garden outside of the home.
Rainy season is no joke in the tropics and subtropics.
Yeah.
It rains from like 4 to 5 every day, or in the tropics where you live now, it's by clockwork. It's crazy.
Yes. It rains exactly when I come home every day. Yeah. So I was
as
not
soon as you get on your bike, and then it stops when you get home. At least in Taiwan. Much. Yeah, it's crazy. So there's
beside my porch up into the home, I set up a nice little, tiny little. My landlord had all of these little cactuses all over the place, and I consolidated them all into a nice little cactus garden with some art stuff on the front steps. And I bailed, and I put my hand right down on top of about 5 of them. I spent 3-4 hours pulling spines out of my hand. It sucked. I'm better now, but I couldn't even sit. I had to sit there, and I was just it was awful, man. It was awful.
I don't know how he did it, but I'm out on my balcony, like having a drink and getting ready, or preparing myself for the episode, taking notes and all that. And then Ben's like, "Okay, I should be ready at this time that we agreed on." And then he sent me a message saying, "Oh, I fucked up."
Yep.
And I don't know how you were texting. And I was like, you okay?
I had the phone. So it was my left hand with all the things in it. I put my phone down and I was doing this. But I had to. I had no choice. I was like,
sit there.
Nope. Yeah, man, it was a nightmare.
And I felt bad for laughing so much, but it just seemed so cartoonish.
Mm-hmm.
It's like, Oh.
So yeah, I'm better. I'm better now. Everything's all good, and I was ready to go last week, but hey, ready to go this week. We're now critters in Taiwan and Thailand.
Yeah, so our critters in. I mean, Taiwan isn't technically Southeast Asia, so they say.
Yeah.
We're
Well,
East Asia.
you're not, but where I was because it's under
You're
the
in
tropics.
the tropics.
Yeah.
Really, that's what matters.
I don't know.
I'm
I don't
so
get it either.
close, though.
It's
You
so
know,
silly. It's so silly.
because
It's
I
all
always I just figured it was like not China, not Japan, and all the other countries, like
Right.
including Taiwan.
silly,
Yeah, so I
silly,
mean,
silly.
critters in Taiwan. I mean, that's the name of the show.
Well,
we just
can-
might have
but
to add something else.
I think it's critters in TNT.
critters in TNT.
Taiwan and Thailand. I don't know. We're workshopping it.
Resonates just with the TNT and the
Yeah.
cartoonish image of you falling into a cactus and walking out with pricklies on you and be like, I can't do it today. Like 10 minutes before go time.
Yep. Yeah,
I'm
it was
sorry.
a rough day. It was a rough day.
And Ben didn't respond to me much either when I was sitting
No,
there
I
just
was
like I was
fucking-
spelling out ha 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 for like 3 lines on
It
our
was
text thread.
every cactus that I fell on was like this big. So they all
Oh.
had those tiny little feather like
tiny little
tiny
things.
spines, and all of them when I fell, they all went in and then broke off. So none of them were sticking out. They were all jammed in under the skin with little. They're all like under a millimeter and deep.
no.
So I had to dig hundreds out, like dig them out. It sucked. It was the worst.
Remember those old Biore strips? Did you have those in Canada? You put them
Yeah,
on your
yeah.
nose and it pulls out
Yep.
your. You ever
Yep.
think about that?
Yep.
You know, or you get some like Elmer's
Oh,
glue, put it on
Dude,
the thing, and just like peel
did.
it off.
I tried. The first thing I did was I tried duct tape. I put it over top of it, ripped it off. Nothing. Not a single thing. And
Did
I'm
it
like,
hurt,
fuck
though?
this. No, not really.
Okay.
Everything kind of hurts. Yeah, it just hurt all the time. It didn't make a difference. But it didn't do anything. And then I'm like, I could do the glue thing, but I'm like, fuck it. I'm just gonna sit there
That's
with
not strong
tweezers.
enough.
Yeah,
Ugh.
not at all. Yep.
Jeez. But you're good now.
Good now, and I'm ready to go.
And you're
So
set one in.
tonight we're going to talk about the live show, Downfall,
Oof.
and then 102, 103, 104.
Yeah, I actually got to change the title of this because we're doing. Oh wow, yeah, because it's Critical Role 98.
That sounds right. 98, and then
Downfall 99 to
99,
101.
99, 100, 101, and then,
And then 102
I actually
to
pulled up-
104, right?
yeah,
So that's
the
so that's 4 episodes of Critical Role and 3 episodes. That's 7 episodes.
Yep.
Dude, we've been out for 8 or 9 weeks.
Yeah, something like that. So we're
Jeez.
talking about just for reference sake, we're talking about the live show was where is it? The live show, is this the live show? Yes, the live show is 98 called The Nox Engine.
Okay.
That was the one we missed. The Nox Engine, that was a live show. Then we have Downfall Part 1, Downfall Part 2, Downfall Part 3.
Is that
Then
what
we
they're
have
called?
Yep.
Okay.
Then we have episode 102, which is called Reconciliation. Then we have episode 102, 103, which is called Cages. And then we have episode 104, which is the most recent one, The Cradle's Convocation. Good luck remembering all that.
Yeah, good lord. I mean, yeah, I'm gonna name this episode whatever the fuck I want, but
That's actually a good title, whatever the fuck I want.
will YouTube let that happen? Because I kind of have to look back at my notes. I mean, like going
Yeah.
back, thing about the show that we watch and we podcast about is that like, if we skip an episode or for some reason one of us is not available or whatever, the next episode typically kind of answers like 70% of the questions we
Right.
have.
Right.
But the whole idea of it is discussing it and maybe trying to see out what's going to happen next, just like
Yeah.
watching Game of
Or
Thrones or whatever.
Trying to figure out what just happened. Like, what does that even mean? Why did they do that? What is the purpose of it? What
Yeah.
the fuck is up with that? Right.
And then next time you watch, you're like, I called it. You know,
Yeah.
like that
Yeah.
wonderful satisfaction of being like, hey, I was right. Be like, and if you make a wager or whatever.
Yeah, I'm pretty stoked about my prediction about Sam's new character, which happened at the live show.
You nailed it.
Yeah, got it pretty bang on. I mean, to be totally fair, The most of the community figured he was coming back as a paladin as well.
They needed a healer, you know.
The paladin bard multi-class is phenomenal, though. It's a wild one.
I'm glad that it came back as somewhat of a bard, you know, because what is his charisma? 19 his stat.
Something like it's crazy high.
I believe it's 19, not 20, right?
Yep.
Yeah. Well, that is like there may or may not be rollies here. There's just so much to catch up on, and like I don't really have notes, but I have some notes from like when I thought we were going to be casting the next week. Sam's absence was when he finally posted that short little video. It was nice of him to do so.
Yeah,
you know?
Heartbreaking, but nice at the same time. It's like, okay, now we get it. Like there is method to this madness, and it was. I mean, I don't know if you noticed it or not, but his his voice is not the same. I really noticed it this week, really big time.
Okay, I can't believe that I just assumed he had a bit of a cold. Wow.
No.
Until this moment, until you just said that just now.
I mean, he might have. It might have been that, but I think it's actually, now that you say that, I think he did have some tissue and he was sniffling, coughing a little bit, but I never even thought that it might be a cold. I just immediately thought that it was
I can't
cancer.
believe that I thought it was I can't believe I didn't think it was perhaps the cancer.
Yeah.
So he had, if you don't know, I mean, it's not our job to update people on that, but, you know, we missed Sam for a while, and, man, God, I had a lot to say about this a long time ago. Now it's coming back to me. Like, how much they all knew about this. Did we talk? No, because we didn't talk about it.
Because we didn't know. Yeah,
we might have texted each other. Maybe that's why.
Yes, we did.
I was like, how much did they all know? And, like, when FCG made that decision to sacrifice himself, and it's like, the whole table, it seemed like they were like, okay, like now is when he's going to do it, because it seems so natural and smooth. Yeah. And I was sitting back like, what? Why are they just letting this happen?
Yeah, we discussed this on text. We didn't discuss this here, but I firmly believe, like they say, like it's been one of those things for the longest time about Critical Role being scripted or not scripted, and it's not scripted. But things like this are
life issues.
Planned. They're life issues, so they have to plan around them. This is a big company. It's not like the old days when they were on Geek and Sundry and they could just, you know, fuck off and do whatever the hell they wanted to do. It's different now.
Well, like so this Yasha is one of those in Campaign 2.
Issues. Right.
Like Ashley was predisposed with The Last of Us.
Yeah. Blind Spot.
Blind Spot. Yeah, that's right. Sorry.
Yeah. And so, like, it's, you know, it's one of those things where Sam was in the hospital and having surgery and shit. And it's crazy. So they definitely knew, and they definitely didn't let anybody know, and they kept it under wraps for obvious reasons. Yeah. But yeah, it does lend itself to like, okay, well then it was FCG's sacrifice, you know, was that out of necessity? Was it really a thing? Was it premeditated, or who knows? And maybe we shouldn't know, maybe we do know, maybe it doesn't really matter. It's neither here nor there. But
I like how this kind of reminds me of Maynard James Keenan, where how like they're like, why don't you ever put your lyrics in your covers, your CD covers? And he's like, it doesn't matter what I'm saying, it matters what you hear. You know, because like this is an art piece. I want you to like accept it and absorb it and interpret it the way that you want, instead of let me try to guide you through it. No. Yeah. Let it be art and let it affect you in the way that it wants to affect you. Like with
people don't like that. It's funny how, especially you and I have been in the music scene for a very, very long time, and so you'll sympathize with my feeling on this one. It never fails to amaze me how seriously non-musicians take music. It never fails to amaze me. Like they are so, listen, man, you got to understand what they were saying when they said that thing, or the feeling, what they meant. I'm like, dude, you've never played any instrument in your entire life.
You've never written a song.
How can you say that with such certainty? I mean, I understand, like you just said, it's art and people interpret it the way they want, but man, it always blows me away. I'm like, okay, all right. Yeah, I'm glad you feel that way about it, but with such certainty, are you really okay? That's how you want to take it. All right.
I kind of feel like that's what the Dark Souls games do. Like, because I don't know if you've played them much, but like the story comes out in the item descriptions. And then like I kind of feel like they're getting away with something here, because they have good, very in-depth item descriptions, you know, and then people will connect things together. And then the people who play the games, the super fans, will actually make up stories. And then
Right.
the devs will sit and like, hey guys, this is pretty good. Should we make that lore?
Yeah. Right.
Like they wrote the story for us, and we're off the hook.
That's funny.
So with
Anyway, hey,
so with
go ahead.
who's going? Okay, with Sam's absence, it wasn't until after the live show that he put out that they released the cancer thing in the throat, right?
Yes.
And then afterwards, that was when I was like, oh, I should go back and watch it again, because he was talking about this scar on his neck, which he actually has.
Right.
But I didn't notice it because it was on my phone on that tiny little screen.
You couldn't see it. You still can't see it. It's not visible. It's under the jawline, so it's not visible at all.
So like have it right up in here.
Yeah.
Man, that's crazy.
And I think it's quite small. I don't think it's a huge scar. I think it's quite tiny. So, but yeah, he was definitely like, that's the whole thing about the when they found him in a closet, he was bleeding from the throat and they couldn't talk, and
big old
and he
gash on the throat.
Right, slowly gets up, and very weird at the time, and then we suddenly realized, oh, Sam.
Yeah. It's fun.
And
like
I think on that note, I think we're in for another classic Sam thing. I think there's a giant twist coming up very soon. Prediction.
Yeah, there's something going on with his character.
100%.
And we're going to be all over the board here, folks. There's so many things to talk about here. I would eventually like to get back to Downfall to some extent, but let's just do this as it comes. And once we hit an hour, we'll be like, okay, dude, let's pick this up next time. But,
Sure.
With Sam's character, he had said in one of the episodes, he was like, I don't lie. Maybe that was a little bit of a fib, or something like that. And then they had that truth sphere in this last episode, or was it the one before?
Right.
No,
it was this one. This is last one. Yeah, zone of truth or whatever it's called. Yeah.
Yeah, and then he said something like I like to be honest, or something like that. I might be confusing it with like another podcast I was listening to, and nobody reacted to the fact that like he already told you that he lies sometimes. He's from the hells, like.
Well, he's not from the hells. He's even said this episode he's never been, although that could be a lie also. It's
who knows,
right? So this is the whole thing, right? So we know that his armor has the symbol of Asmodeus, and he talks about following. So what is Asmodeus's title? The Prince of Lies. It's all about lying.
Yeah,
that's what it's all about.
And if he's a big fan of that guy, then
remember from that's where he gets his power from, right? His deity.
Right.
All paladin spells are divine in nature-ish, sort of, except for like the oath. What's the one? The oath of the one that Xerxes was in what's the calamity. Yeah. He didn't worship a god. He worshipped the people. He drew his power from the populations of the city. And it's the same like that one does. But basically, Sam's character Brias, he gets all of his power from Asmodeus, which is the Prince of Lies. Remember from Brias, whatever it is. Brias.
I think you're looking at the spelling of it and just making your own interpretation.
Yep. No, Brias.
That's art.
Brias Doomseed. Which we talked about, that it translates as hang on a second, we maybe did do an episode about the live show already.
We didn't.
I think we did. I feel like we talked about this before.
We must. I mean, if we did, we would be talking.
Yeah, we wouldn't know it.
Because something rang a bell, but maybe we did the episode and then we saw the Sam thing.
Who cares? Yeah, maybe. Who cares?
Yeah, it's been long enough. I'm sure our viewers forgot too.
It's been a while. Been a long enough. Yeah, no, anyway, it doesn't matter. Whatever. Neither here nor there. We know more stuff now anyway. But yeah, this is it's all new stuff. So maybe we move on then into where Downfall came from, where Downfall did, and what they talked about.
And yeah, basically the gist of it, because I mean, I'll be frank.
Frank.
I was excited. All right, Dad. I was excited because Calamity was so good. Yeah, you live with that shame, Ben.
Yep.
Calamity was so fucking good that I was just, God damn it.
Sorry.
All right, I'm stopping the stream. We're starting over. I was so excited because Calamity was so fucking good from the hop. Like, it immediately started. Because, like, didn't he say that time, too? It's
Yeah.
like, dude, this is not a happy story. And he
No.
started at fucking Doom, right? And it was like hellfire, like bullshit was happening. The same thing that he did this time. And we all know what's going to happen to Aor.
Yes.
Now,
Yeah, well, Calamity we knew would happen too, although it was sort of unknown, and Downfall also known but unknown how they get there, right?
Right.
So there's a lot of
so
new.
cool.
It's lore, and we know the lore, but it's new details about how they get there to those parts. So it's super exciting.
Right, and I guess jumping forward to the third episode of Downfall, just because you mentioned it right there, I didn't recognize any of the other actors at the table that were not Critical Role. I didn't recognize them from anything else, so I don't know their names that well. But there was the guy that was the goddess or the god of, I don't know. He seemed like Dionysus because it seemed like partying and sex and stuff.
Oh, the Archart, the Aormaton.
Yeah. His human form was an Aormaton, or yeah.
Right. He's I don't remember his name. He was the moderator when they did the
He's got a
Mighty
tough
Nine
name.
live show. He was the moderator when they did the Mighty Nine live show in the O2 Arena.
No
in
shit.
London. Yeah, he moderated the Q&A after the live show.
Oh,
knew him from then.
okay.
He's played a lot of D&D. He's a long-time D&D player. They all are, right?
They must have been, yeah.
Yeah, he plays quite a bit, and they brought him on. They said during that moderated Q&A or the panel, whatever it was that he did after the live show, that he was gonna. They're like, yeah, you should come. You'll come and you could be a guest on our show sometimes. Like, oh, I'd love that, blah blah. And then sure enough,
nice.
He does Downfall with them. So
yeah.
I wasn't surprised he was there. The other two I didn't know. They're again like the Dawnfather child. He was like a teenager, 15 years old, Nick.
Yeah.
And then the other who's the other one was
he was under a betrayer god of some sort.
no. He was the emissary.
Yeah. That's right. And he
emissary.
rejected the godly skills eventually. Yeah.
Right, because he didn't need them because he's just the emissary. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, fun story. Wild shit, man. Really weird. Could we, if you want to talk, like I think we both agreed. Let's be both be frank.
Let's be frank.
The story was great. It was slow.
Slow.
The gameplay wasn't spectacular. It was fine. It was slog in parts.
There was good acting.
Yeah, and it was a long, drawn out story that I feel like could have been a little bit better. The first two episodes, they felt, in my personal opinion, it felt like they were very timidly playing avatars of gods.
Yes.
As
soon as you said that, I was like, exactly. That's exactly what it is. They should be more. I was in Shaliocho at that time, like swimming with turtles and having the weekend of my life.
Right.
And I'm like, yeah, that makes sense. And then we went out and get some mango ice cream and shit. It was amazing. But yeah, I was like, this is way too slow for how much fun I'm having this weekend.
Right. And it felt like when I was watching it too, I was like, this is amazing. I love the premise, but they're not
not
playing
being
very
godly.
Timidly. And maybe they weren't supposed to be because they're immortal guys, but really only the Archart, the Aormaton, I'm sort of blanking on his name. The basically we turned out that he's the god of arcane, of magic, of whatever, right? That's what he's the god of. And I don't remember. I'm blanking on a lot of these names. I probably should have written some of these.
Matthew just talked about that god in this last episode too. The one that allowed arcane the humans to have arcane without the deities.
Right.
Yeah.
Yep.
Fuck, man. Like, hey, get in touch. We don't know.
We do know. I didn't write anything down. I've been way too busy, man. I moved and I've been acclimatizing to a new life.
Yeah.
So
I've got things I can't talk about, but I've been busy too.
We both have been. Yeah, absolutely. So anyway, it's all good. Let's carry on. So we loved it, but it wasn't great. It was
hold on
good.
a second. I didn't love it.
Okay.
I slogged through it.
Okay.
And I slogged through all
fair
three
enough.
of them.
Mm-hmm.
And
So
it
did I.
was, there were some really good moments, but man, it's just
okay.
like
love is a strong word. Let's say
Yeah.
we liked it. It was fine. It wasn't great.
It was good RP, but then like as I was saying before, like I might get backlash on that because was it good RP? Because like you're playing the avatar of a god, like a mortal avatar of a god. So, like you just said, also, like, should they be more, what's the word, frivolous,
Yeah.
with who they are, and
Yeah.
and BLM, Brendan Lee Mulligan,
Hmm.
I often forget his name because I just call him Black Lives Matter. Um, he was like, he just like said like, oh, and by the way, because you're in this area and you kind of control this, so if you
Hmm.
will it strong enough, you can change the fabric of reality.
Hmm.
And they're
Hmm.
like, oh shit, well, I'm gonna try to do this. And he's like, you know what? I'm gonna say, and I love how he rolls in front of the table for a lot of his shit.
Yeah.
He's like, I'm gonna
Yeah.
say there's like a DC 12 that you can do
Hmm.
this,
Hmm.
and like, I just love that his style is that way.
Yeah. It's
Um,
very open. It's good. I like that.
so when I say like the acting was good, because the RP was good,
Hmm.
but was it though? Were they doing exactly what they were
Yeah.
supposed to?
It's hard to know because again, are they supposed to? They're undercover, so they're supposed to be a little bit
Should
thing.
they be
But it
reserved? Yeah,
felt like they were just too reserved, like
yeah.
they were a little
That's how.
too withdrawn and just too like they were
Be
they
a
were
god. Come on.
tentative. They were tentative with each other, and there was a lot of. I mean, there's a lot of stuff going on, right? Because they all ended up playing the primes, and then BLM ended up playing all the betrayers, and so it sort of became this weird. Yeah, it was fine. I liked it. Um, I guess I shouldn't say I loved it because I didn't really. There were parts of it that I liked a lot. I don't know. Whatever.
Yeah, I liked the last about maybe 40, 50 minutes of the third episode was
Mm.
really cool because they got their godly powers at that point.
Yes.
And
Yeah.
then it was like, okay, now they're gods.
Hmm.
Like what was it? Magic missile is like
Hmm.
doing 300 damage. It's
Hmm.
like you can do anything, you're fine. And like this person is
Yep.
like, what do you want? And they're like, I want them off the cliff, without
Yep.
even don't even roll. It just
No,
happens.
it
Like,
just
it's-
happens. Yeah.
Yeah, it's gonna be like a 42 to hit. So don't worry about it.
So, if we're talking about all of that now, like let's go past that and let's talk about what it was, which is it was a vision that Bells,
Yes.
Hells, and
Yes.
Ludinus watched. And they saw all of the gods do this thing. They didn't see the prologue and they didn't see the epilogue.
Right.
It was specifically stated that they only witnessed when they began, that they didn't see the part about the beings of infinite possibility in the garden.
They made
right?
that
And then
clear
all-
in
and
the four-sided
very-
dive.
and they made it clear, and we've missed a lot in cooldown. I read a lot about the cooldown, and people do full recaps of
That's
it
a
on
note I
Reddit.
have, man.
And yeah, the cooldowns seem really fucking cool. But I am not
hate
paying for Beacon.
because exactly.
paying for it.
I hate
Not.
Beacon for this.
Nope.
Because like at the end, like a note that I have here, like so Orum's weapon exalts in this episode, right?
Mm-hmm.
And usually in the other show, past campaigns, they would sit there and be like, "What does it say?" And like usually, Dirty Wizard would do it in character. He'd be like, "Oh, well, if I do this and then I don't know how to do the accent." But like Laura would sit there and be like, if I roll a this or, she's just over the table. I don't know what that fucking weapon does anymore.
Right.
The only thing
Right.
I can presume is because it has those two eyes that it seems like it's guiding your weapon. Maybe he's got like a +2 to hit, maybe,
Who knows?
But that's all I know.
Who knows?
And it's a little
Yep.
bit longer, so maybe it does
Yeah.
more damage like a long
Yeah.
sword. But is that in Beacon? I don't know if you saw it or
No,
if you saw the threads.
I have no idea. Not on that one. No, I
I'm
didn't see anything
upset.
about that.
I don't like
haven't-
Beacon. I
Yeah.
pay enough for this show. I should come on.
Yeah.
I don't
Yep,
want to
yep,
subscribe to two things.
I don't think you need to. I think there is some cool stuff that's above table and maybe on the table that they talk about. but I but I think it's there is some cool stuff, and I get little details every now and then from Reddit. I'm thankful for people.
I like your new color scheme over here, by the way. You got the green curtains, you got the blue on the side. I've never seen your real teal tank there.
New one, Thailand one.
Yeah, there you go.
Thai
New
Tigers.
New country, who dis?
Yep.
Yeah, so the story was the fall of Aor. And of
Right.
course it was going to fall. Oh, but I had a question. So
Yeah.
this is coming way back to that actor that I can't remember his name. The Aormaton in his avatar form.
Yeah, what was his name?
He
Go
made
ahead.
a choice. Yeah, if you could go ahead and search that while I talk about
Abu
it for a second.
something.
Yeah, I didn't recognize the name. It's a hard name too. It's like learning a Chinese name. Because it's not like Steve or John or Ben or Tim. It's a very unique name. But at one point he was like, "Are you going to direct this towards this or towards this?" It's like,
Yeah.
you know, and like he was given that option, but
Abubakar Salim. That's who it was. Salaha. That's right. That was the Salaha was Silaha was the Archart, was the Aormaton.
man, it's like well, you're not in Taiwan anymore, but it's like learning their English name and their Chinese name. They're both gone. I don't remember either of them.
Abubakar Salim and Salaha was the name of the character.
We'll call him Booby. We know you're watching.
Sure.
And he was given the choice at the one point to like, I don't remember exactly what it was. I watched it. I watched the second half twice on that episode. But he was like, "What do you choose?" And he's like, "Well, I'd put it towards the city or something like that."
Right.
It's like, "What if you chose the other thing?" It's like, "All right, well, I guess we got to play for 20 more minutes."
Sure.
We have to destroy Eowyn.
I don't. Yeah, they have. It's funny how the ending is predetermined, right? And they all know that, and so they have to act accordingly. So it does take some of the randomness out. I was thinking the same thing. I'm like, yeah, what if they just decided to walk away? But the point is that I think the whole point of it is that they didn't, and they did murder an entire city cold-bloodedly.
Oh, hundreds were dying in moments.
Yeah.
Like you see the whole thing shift. Oh, like 300 people just fell off the side.
Yep.
Like, oh, and there wasn't a reaction.
Nope.
They're gods. Who cares?
Yeah, who cares? That's right. And that's sort of my point, is that when you start watching in this last episode, when they really start explaining to the entire gathering of all of the like when Keyleth was speaking, and then there's all the Bright Queen is there, and then the what are they called, the Rexentrum. What are the Ludinus's old group of mages?
Oh.
Not
Clovis Concord.
Nope, not Chroma Conclave, but it's something like that. Whatever it is.
Did I just put two things as a portmanteau?
Whatever.
Clovis?
That group. No,
not
it's
Clovis.
Nope. Capping. It's all good. It'll come to us.
Yeah.
And
get in
all
touch.
those leaders are all get together. And Ashton is like, "You fucking idiots! Like, you don't understand that this is what the gods were. Like, don't
you mean in this
understand?"
episode?
Yeah, in this most recent episode. Yeah.
Oh. I mean, it's not
all the representatives of all of the major cities and leaders and countries and all of that were all gathered together in the.
It's not the Tal'Dorei Council.
No. But I mean, Vex,
that's just
Vex was there and Allura was there from the Tal'Dorei
Council. Yeah.
Yeah, and Grog, we got Grog. How great was it? Yeah, we finally got Grog. So now we only haven't seen from Vox Machina is Scanlan. The only one we haven't seen. Yep.
I'll bet he's in there somewhere already. We've seen him already. That's my guess.
There's speculation that he will be coming at some point. And
I think it's Jamon Sword.
How crazy was that there was 3 dragons there, eh?
I like that. They're like, you see that structure and the tail swings. And I love how Travis's reaction. He's like, "Wait, are you for real? Like completely out of character and above table?"
Completely. Wait, hang on a second.
That's badass.
Yeah. Oh, amazing.
I love Travis for that shit. And Travis was the first one to pick up on Grog. Like before Matthew even got into it, he was like, and you hear this booming voice, and he was like, all 7 other people, they were just like,
Ashley was so cute, eh? She picks up on it way late, and she's like, "Wait, what?"
As she does.
Yeah, she was like a minute later into it.
Bless
she finally
her heart.
Realizes. Yep. That was so good.
Matthew's doing a good job. His voice is not quite on, but he's got the character down.
Yeah. Exactly.
He's got the mannerisms and the attitude and the jokiness, but also he's doing a good job.
Yeah, it's quite good. It made me smile. Yeah, it was a really good little cameo. I liked it a lot. So what else do we miss? So that's up to this one.
I had what level is Pervon at this point? It's hundreds of years after Calamity. He must be level 20 at this point. But I don't think that fucking matters.
Nope.
He's Pervon. Whatever.
Yep.
We'll Pervon that later. Anything from the downfall I want to say before we go to the.
Full disclosure, I didn't write anything down for any of these episodes. I've been just way too busy. No time to take notes.
I'm gonna throw
Watched
this.
all of them. Didn't take any notes.
I'm gonna throw this in there. Timestamp GIF.
Woo.
At 1 hour, 37 minutes, and 29 seconds of the previous episodes, that would be 103.
Yep. Cages.
At that exact second, somebody farted and nobody acknowledged it. I went back and listened to it 3 times.
Okay.
A couple people moved and just let it go.
Okay.
And I think it was Taliesin.
Okay.
So go back and check that. I'm going to throw that in there right there.
That's a fun one.
Yeah, those are my notes for the downfall. Yeah, whatever happened in the downfall was exactly what was expected, what was already kind of written, and then I didn't know until they came back that I watched the live episode twice. I didn't know that they were having a vision. Because they found loot. Yeah, I don't know what happens, man. It's like when I read a book, I read a page and I don't pay attention. It's like they found Ludinus and he's like, check this out, and everything flashes white.
Yes.
And then Matthew switches with BLM. And I'm like, wait, what? What is this? Twice I watched it.
He shows them this orb. He's got this orb of magical energy, and he pushes it into a machine. And then they all look at it, and then they're all transported, and they get this vision across their thing. I wish they had sort of said like how much time went by, because it was 3 episodes. It was a lot of time. I wonder if it was like instantaneous download, or if they did they sit there for like 6 hours, or no, like 12 hours, go through it. Even more than that. It was like 15 hours.
Yeah. Speaking of
Curious.
time dilation and halls, when they're talking about Hallis, are they talking about Halas?
No.
Okay,
no, that
this
was
is
made.
Really
that was
fucking
made,
with me.
No, that was made very clear, because you're not the only one that thought that. I mean, I did too. I was like, oh, is that the? And then made very clear the spelling is different and not the same person.
Okay.
I think again, this is a cool down thing, where they talked about that and it was clarified that no, it's not.
It shouldn't be a cooldown thing. It should be on four-sided. It should be for us paid subscribers who are big fans of the fucking show.
Yep.
It's like, here's the new rule. If you have a podcast about your podcast, we should get all the information for free. All right? I'm looking in the camera now because I know you're watching. You're always watching. You're one of the 50 viewers we get every week.
It's a bold statement, but all right.
So, come on. If we're going to talk about it, give us the information. It's just fair. That's all. We give you enough money over the years. Come on.
Yeah, for real. Oh, there's Lacey.
Oh, lazy girl. Poor girl. She's getting used to all the new dogs over there.
Yep.
She's such a sweetie, though.
Yeah, she's happy.
Man. All right, so what's going on with the new episodes? So there were 2 that we didn't talk about since.
No. So the newest one, we got a whole lot of stuff happen.
Yeah, what happened? So we got Laudna gained control of Delilah.
That happened 103.
That was the last episode, right?
Huge thing. Like that is one of those game-changing things where this is even more than what Ford did with Uk'otoa. And he like he disowns her and then disowns it and then goes up with the Wild Mother, but has to eventually fight Uk'otoa again anyway. I mean, who knows? I mean, the Belcells might actually end up having to fight Delilah again, because she might find a way to break out of it. But
yeah, and also her vow to fucking destroy Laudna's eternity. I mean, it kind of came off as like a little speech, but if she does get out, she's gonna fuck Laudna up.
Oh yeah, probably. I don't know, kill, but like murder, but it'd be close.
Oh no, eternal damnation kind of thing.
Yeah.
Like
probably.
whatever Vax is going through right now, that kind of thing for eternity. I mean,
how? Sorry. I was just thinking about like those kinds of things. I was thinking about, well, her patron is her god, deity, whatever, was Vecna, and we know like and then I was thinking about the Earth Titan that was there in the city, and how cool of a description was that? I was like, wait, the Titan never went into the city, and then I was like, oh, the city got bigger. Oh, I see. And then they asked the same question that
Certainly
I
got
asked. And I was
taller.
like, ah, right. The city goes out and then it encompasses where the Titan was because it
Oh,
stopped.
that's what happened.
It stopped when Vox Machina
I thought
stopped.
they moved it.
No, the Titan
Oh.
stopped before the city gates.
Yeah, they
Well
did.
before. Well
I mean,
before.
the hand was coming down as it was
Right.
outside,
Right.
and they
Which is
stopped it right there.
hundreds of that. Yeah, exactly. But Matt made it clear. He's like, no, the city got bigger. They built around the Titan.
Nice, as a bastion, as a
Yeah.
reminder.
Yeah.
And even with this, we still stand. I thought
Yeah.
that was so powerful.
Totally. Totally.
Of course it is.
Very cool. Very cool
Shit.
little moment.
Yeah, I didn't realize that. I thought they had moved it. 'Cause,
Yeah,
like,
I thought so too. I was like, oh, they moved it. I'm like, oh no, wait, they grew the city. Of course they did. It's been 50 years, 30, 40, 50 years, something like that. I'm not sure.
And like, yeah, the first time through, I was, it always takes me two times through to understand about 85% of what's actually happening. And Matthew he started talking, and it was in his normal voice because I think it was Liam rolled a 28 on some kind of history or something like that.
Right,
No,
right.
I might be mixing this up with a different roll, but it was just Matthew telling a story, and it wasn't. Fuck, I don't remember what the fuck it was. Anyway.
No, it was a history. No, it was something other check, but it was a big one. And Matt even clarified, was like, oh yeah, you rolled a 28
No,
or whatever.
you
it
rolled
was.
high.
You rolled
Yeah,
high, so you get even more than that.
But
Yeah.
I don't know if that was about the Titan. Because at one
It was
point Matthew
about-
was saying something like and that miracle of massive necromantic magic,
Yep.
for this
Yep.
miracle of this god, which apparently is something that has to happen with a god
Right.
rising. What's the word?
Ascending.
Ascending.
That was about Vecna. It was about the knowledge of
Right.
what Vox Machina did to stop Vecna.
Yeah.
And he was like,
And
yeah,
I-
you
and I
rolled
mixed that
really
up.
high, so you do know what happened in
Oh,
that.
okay. So those are
do know.
those are connected.
Yeah. Yeah,
Okay.
you do know what those people did up there because you've heard the stories before from Keyleth and
Right.
the others.
So I confused that miracle of necromancy to I thought that they actually had moved the Titan into the city. That's what I thought.
Right. No. Yeah. They grew. As far as I'm pretty sure about that. I was like, oh yeah, that's
It makes a
cool.
lot more sense the way that you stated it. They built it around the Titan.
The city just keeps growing bigger and bigger. Yeah.
Yeah, let's claim it.
Pretty-
You know,
Yep.
that's a great claim. I
Yeah,
mean,
it's
if it's outside of
wild.
it, it kind of looks like it's like, hey guys, we're always in danger.
Mm-hmm.
Or you build around it, and it's like, hey, this is ours now.
And not only build around it, but build in it, because he said
Yeah.
you can see little lights inside and fires, and there's people that have inhabited that place. That's
Yeah.
fucking crazy cool as well.
Everybody's got caverns all the way through. That's how they
Right.
got in,
They
right?
spent several episodes climbing through it. So yeah,
Yeah, jeez, those
remember
episodes
those?
are good.
Those they're really good.
Man. Oh, those are
Yeah,
heavy.
that's what. It's funny too because when you think about that, oh, I have something to say. It just reminded me of something. It's funny because when you think about it, those episodes weren't supposed to happen originally because
Right.
Vox Machina was supposed to end at the Chroma Conclave, the defeat of Thordak, and then they begged Matt to keep going, so then he created Vecna out of that, which reminds me of something that I read on Reddit, as I do a lot of things. It's entirely possible, and there's a lot of people on Reddit that agree with this. There's been multiple threads about this. It's entirely possible that Bell's Hells isn't supposed to be facing Ludinus right now and Predathos in the Red Moon. It's entirely possible that this arc was supposed to be for the Mighty Nine. Thematically, it makes a bit more sense. And the reason why people say that is and why the Mighty Nine didn't is because of COVID. When they went offline in those episodes, Matt didn't want to do the Predathos arc then because they were social distancing. They were playing at a big table, and they took months off. And I think in those months off, speculation is Matt decided not to have the Mighty Nine go against Predathos and the Red Moon, but instead push that off to a later date for campaign 3, and then create this whole thing about Molly coming back as Lucian and blah 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 blah. And if you go back, it kind of lines up and it kind of makes sense because it would make way more sense for the Mighty Nine with Jester, with Caduceus, with Ford and those things. It would make way more sense for them to go after with the gods than Bell's Hells, who don't give a shit about the gods at all. It's kind of interesting both ways, but if you look at it that way, there's a running theory that maybe they put it off for campaign 3 because of COVID, because of the impact of it. And I kind of agree with that. I mean, it could be. It's a strong possibility. That's all. Just a point that I sort of think is relevant.
Yeah, that makes some sense.
I don't know if it's totally true, but maybe it is.
Yeah, I mean, things line up. I mean, just like the Dark Souls series. Hey, we could have just made up a story, and Matt is watching right now, and he's like,
Yes.
yep, that makes sense. Let's do it.
Yep.
That also kind of reminds me, when we say the only people we haven't seen is Scanlan, that's just from Vox Machina, right?
Right. I'm talking about just Vox Machina because we also haven't seen Bo. Oh, we have seen Bo. We haven't seen Yasha.
Dirty
We haven't
Wizard.
seen Yasha. We haven't seen. That's it. We haven't seen.
We haven't seen Caduceus, have we?
No, we have not seen Caduceus.
Nor Kingsley now, right?
Well, okay. Are we talking about the Mighty Nine reunion show? Because if we talk about that, then we have seen them. If
Wait,
we're talking
campaign
about
3 people have seen them?
no, but we've seen them since.
Oh, no, I'm talking campaign 3.
Right. So campaign 3, they have not seen Caduceus, they have not seen Yasha, and they have not seen Not or Veth
Or Kingsley.
or Kingsley. Right. Yeah.
But they saw Jester and Ford.
They
No, they haven't
heard
seen them
Jester.
either.
They heard Jester because she did in the sending spell with when Jester was talking to Imogen, sending. They have not seen Ford. They have not seen Yasha. They've seen Bo. They've not seen Yasha, Ford, Jester. Technically, have not seen her, and Caduceus.
But
they
Jester
have seen,
did show up. She was in the third campaign because they heard her voice, right?
Right, they heard her voice. Yes,
And they
but
also saw her
talked-
dick drawings.
Yes, and they saw her dick drawings. But they did see Bo, they did see Caleb, they have seen Grog. No, sorry, we're talking Mighty Nine. They've seen I guess that's all from the Mighty Nine.
Yeah, just those two, right?
Yeah, just those two. Yep.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I want to. It's funny, like, in Vox Machina, it's so much more important that they show up instead of
Right.
instead of Mighty Nine.
It's funny because like with all that time they spent with Essek, right? And he's talking about his friends and how they're off on a very important mission, doing those things. Basically, what they're doing is cleanup, right? That's sort of been established that after the reunion tour, or the reunion show, they've gone out to put all the things that escaped. They've got to go out and put them all back into jails again because they've all been released when the solstice happened, when all those things, when everything, the magic changed, right?
Yeah.
How crazy is it? I was thinking about this. I didn't realize how serious that bloody bridge is. Like Matt really stressed how it's stretching the ley lines and they might snap. And that means magic in Exandria is gone.
Some music is magical.
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah.
But
that was a wonderful thing with the reunion shows. Like when these things released, you can't help but think, who else has been released? And then the show happened. You know, it's like, oh,
Yes.
So what's his face? Fucking asshole. What's
Trent.
Icky Thong.
Icky Thong. Yep.
Yeah. That was a great tie-in, and it makes perfect sense also with everything else.
So, you got any predictions coming up? I know you don't usually do them, but do you have any?
They happen, yeah.
Yeah. My biggest prediction
ahead.
is that Sam is going to betray the party.
Yes, I have that one too. Because he's going back and forth, and like I said, maybe 30 minutes ago, people aren't catching him doing this. And it's like, dude, guys, has it been long since you've had Sam at the table?
They are, and they're just not. They're just playing it that they're not. I have a feeling that they're very aware that he's lying about everything. But above table, they're aware. On the table, they're playing it cool.
In character, they're like,
in character, yeah.
Why would we second guess it?
Yep.
Yeah, because he's flip-flopping and all kinds of stuff. I mean, he's outright saying, I don't lie. And he's like, well, I lie. And then, oh, sometimes I do this. And it's like, I'm picking up on it, but I'm not seeing people react to it. But
Yep. Yeah, who knows? I'm very excited about this Friday's episode because I think it's going to really set up this one because they're not really sure what they're going to do right now, right? They are maybe going to go to the moon. They're maybe going to do some other things. Not really sure. I think this next episode, we're at 104. How many more we got in campaign 3?
not a
20?
lot.
10? Who
And,
knows, right?
One of the last things that was said was we might have a few people that could come on this sting operation, or we
Yeah.
have some people that you could put through. They also did say that Bell's Hells, you guys are the ones for this job, you know.
Yeah.
So like I'm guessing there's going to be some Mighty Nine folks. You
I
know?
hope so.
Like
I
Jester's
hope
going to
so.
show up. It's funny that Matthew can't do Jester's voice. I love that so
No.
much. Of all of
I
his
know.
voices he can do, he can't do Laura's Jester.
No. Laura's Jester is something special.
Yeah.
Where the fuck it even came from. It's vaguely Scandinavian. It's
Yeah.
kind of sort of Dutch, maybe a little bit, and Swedish kind of mixed in with some Finn.
Like
It's sort of a
East
whole bunch of
European,
different
North
weird,
Europe. It's like the outskirts of Europe, like
Yeah.
all inclusive,
sort of
included.
just we're
Just not the
gonna
middle.
Put it all together.
Yeah.
Yeah. Hey, listen, man, I'm getting a little hungry and I haven't eaten yet, and I'm falling asleep. I'm getting tired. I need
Sure,
to eat.
dude. Yeah, we're coming up on 9 p.m. Yeah, we're coming up on an hour too.
Yep.
Rollies?
Yep. Rollies.
Here we go.
3, 2, 1, goalies.
7.
A natural 2.
Hey, all right.
What do you got?
My question is, how many more episodes do you think they have?
I'm gonna say 104. I'm gonna say 125 is the finale. So I'm gonna say 21.
I was gonna say 135.
Oh, hey, look at that. Okay.
All right. Yes, and
Yes, and do you think anybody's gonna die?
mm-hmm.
Chetney. That's
Chetney
my
and
prediction.
Orem.
Yep. Oh, so he gets to join Will. Oh, you're a sweetheart, Tim.
I mean, you know,
Mm.
that's his life. That's his life.
Yep. Yep.
In service.
The dream, the vision that he had in the glade, right, with the tree,
that got me, dude.
Was
It got
yeah,
me.
dude. It was powerful. It was real powerful. He gets the seedling exalts, and then he gets the Will is here, and he gets the moment, and woof,
Yeah.
real good, real good.
Matthew did that well, and Liam did that extremely well because, like, you know, he's like he does this, and I believe it was Liam that said when I hold his hand, I believe it was Liam, not Matthew, that said that it's like the roots and tendrils, you know. And Matthew put his hand up too. He's like, yeah, do it, man. RP.
Yep.
And then right after that, Matthew said, and then Will takes his hand away. You know, and I'm like, wait a minute. It's and what it means is it's like, okay, this is the love of your life, sure, and he died, but he's also saying like, hey, not only do you need to succeed, you need to live and be
need to
happy.
live, right.
And like it's not going to be because of me. Someone else is going to make you happy and live a happy
So you
life.
still
Oh, it was so
in
nice.
that moment, do you still believe Orem's gonna go?
I think so. I mean, he's gonna.
Okay.
He's always right there to put himself, you know, in front of
I know.
others. You
I
know,
know.
that's what he does.
Yep. He still owes Nana Mori.
That's true.
Or does he? I mean, we don't even know if that's a real thing anymore. I think
has
she'll
another
come to collect. I
chance.
don't think Matt's forgotten about it.
Yeah.
I think
Oh,
they've
man.
maybe forgotten a little bit about it. I don't know.
I guess now's a good time to end it too because we just
Yeah.
got this delay on your video now.
Oh no.
Yeah.
Oh man.
Apparently, it happens after 53 minutes.
Oh, that's not so bad. Hey, you can't see me at all. I'm not.
Oh no, you're.
No.
Oh, now you're back to normal. Okay.
Oh, good.
It fixed itself.
Okay, excellent. Good.
All right. Well, hey, let's end it there anyway.
Yeah,
This is my
that's a
turn,
no.
right?
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. Best way to get in touch is get in the comments right down there.
Down below.
Yeah. Forget the email. Fuck, man. I don't think I've ever checked it once.
Nope.
Follow Ben at Ben Greenspoon on all socials. I'm
That's me.
drummatucka on Instagram. I'll have some new music information coming up soon, but I am not at liberty to disclose it at the moment. But there could be potentially some big stuff happening real soon, so keep in touch. Nothing to promote. Yourself, bud?
Nope.
All right. Well, then if
I go to
nothing
work
else,
every day, put my socks on one at a time.
just like all of us. Put your socks
That's right.
put your feet in your socks, go about your day. All right, well, if nothing else, then
I'm good.
man, it's been a while. We should be back
Been
here
a
next week, right?
while.
We got an
We will be.
episode? Yeah.
We'll
okay.
be back.
Because we have an episode this Friday, right?
We do. I'm excited. I
Okay.
think the last one of the month. Then we're off for a week.
All right, so we will be back this Friday. Sorry about the long hiatus, but you got a couple of
No,
busy
I'm not sorry
folks
about it at
over
all,
here.
man. Big things happen and they're exciting and people should be excited for us.
Yes, you should be. And post that in the comments down there, how excited you are about us doing good things.
Yeah.
All right, well then, if nothing else, don't forget to love each other. And is it finally Friday? Peace, y'all.
Peace, everybody.
Good to see you again. Glad to have you back.
Good to see you too, bro.
See you in a week.
While. See you in a week.
Peace.